Hi Scorpio, welcome to your August 2018 love reading. It's Raina here. What I'm going to be doing is using my typical Morgan Greer deck. For the challenge position, I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot High Motorcycle. And then I'm going to be capping off the reading with the Sandra Ann Taylor Energy Oracle card. So there you go. Just cutting the the card. Oh wow. Let me make sure. Oh, this is actually okay. This is 7. I thought that was the 8 of Cups, so I have to be very careful with this deck to see it properly. I thought maybe it was the 8 of Cups and not the 7 of Cups. Wonderful. I'm going to pick the Oracle card when I get there. I think it's more fun that way. So the heart of the matter is the 6 of Swords. It's moving to harmony in your life. So leaving a stressful or a drama-filled relationship and choosing peace, I guess you'd say, choosing peace. And it's interesting because I got a few Swords cards here, okay? Knight of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the Star card is connected to Aquarius. So I don't know if this is an Aquarius person, definitely with Scorpio because you're both fixed signs. It's funny, I'm doing all the fixed signs first, and you're the 3rd out of the 4th. And so maybe that relationship, if it was with an actual Aquarian, was really quite filled with drama, because it is such a different type of energy between the two of you. So, but you find yourself drawn together because you form a square, and that irritation can lead to some attraction, I guess. But in general, Swords connect also to conflict. So seeing how you and another person are clashing leads you to say, it's too much. I don't need this in my life. Now, at the base of this reading, the foundation, we have the Page of Pentacles. You may have received word of a new job or something like that, and that gave you the excuse to move. That's very possible. And it could be starting a new relationship with someone who is of the earth element. Taurus, your opposite sign. And what else? What are the other earth signs? Virgo, Capricorn. The challenge here is represented by the 7 of Cups, and it's, gosh, I have to really make sure. I love this. It's funny that they have the sun upside down and the moon, I guess, showing the time. See, the 7 of Cups is a card of confusion, sometimes addiction. You might have had to leave. Maybe you did care about somebody, but they just are too involved in their addiction, and you realize there's no way that they can love you under these circumstances because they don't even love themselves. And they're not home to themselves. They're away. They are locked away. And it could be that, I think this is very interesting actually, okay? Check this out, Scorpio. So, as you know, as you may know, I should say, we have Jupiter in Scorpio. Okay, so as I record this, Jupiter is still retrograde. I'm recording this on July 7th. eagerly awaiting for Jupiter to turn direct on the 10th. So this could be a situation where Jupiter's direct in your sign, and you're starting to see all of these things flowing in for you, all these opportunities. But with the Seven of Cups, you have to make sure that you have to know that all that glitters isn't gold. That you may get offers, you may get all these things, including a job offer. And it may not be as great as it seems. And hopefully, you know, if you're traveling to another country, you don't realize you got scammed after the fact. But even if you did do something like that, Scorpio, I would say that there's a reason that the universe brought you to that place. So I wouldn't just like turn your back and leave and assume that it was all a big mistake. Just maybe sit with it and see, who knows, maybe that's where your soulmate lives. And the universe had to conspire to get you there, even though the job turned out to be a dud. So, you know, whatever, that's kind of where I'm going with that. The higher message, the spiritual message, is represented by the Ace of Cups. So this is a card of new beginnings in love. As the spiritual message, maybe you're starting with yourself, Scorpio. Maybe this was the hardest thing you've ever had to do, to leave a relationship. I was just, you know, I'm doing all the fixed signs, and I'm always telling them about having a hard time with making changes. The fixed signs are the builders of the zodiac. They're the ones that have the most endurance, the most, I was going to say obsessive qualities, to be able to, you know, they fixate on something and they will not stop unless they're just forced to, maybe sometimes. But they'll definitely find it very hard once they get started to stop something, because they have a lot of momentum. They have a lot of dependability. You can count on them. They are very enduring people. That's why what endurance is, you know, somebody who has the staying power, but there's this quality of stability within them that other people appreciate. And so you love to have that stability in your life. And sometimes it can be too much of a thing, where you honor stability over your own personal growth, your own just sense of, I was going to say expansion, but that is growth. But the sense of like not having everything being safe. Not that you want to put yourself in danger, but sometimes when you don't know what's around the corner, you have to rely on yourself, and you don't get lulled into a false sense of security. And so it may have been very difficult to make those necessary changes. The Ace of Cups is saying, your love, your soulmate is waiting for you. Maybe you don't see them right now, but every time that you make those decisions that honor yourself, you're, you know, rowing, to use the analogy of that picture of the Six of Swords, you're rowing closer and closer to your soulmate. And the Ace of Cups, though, to me, is developing a love affair with yourself. Honoring yourself, what you need, by who you decide to love. And being very choosy about that. For the right reasons, being choosy. The practical advice is represented by the Knight of Swords. This could be a lawyer that you're consulting. It could also be that you need to speak out about something. I don't think of Scorpio people as doormats by any stretch of the imagination. However, you can be very tight-lipped, secretive, don't want, you know, poker face, don't want to show somebody your cards. And it's possible that there needs to be, the air needs to be cleared in your life in some way. It could be with this person that you're leaving. Maybe they are going around saying that, you know, certain things about you. Or yeah, maybe not that you need to talk to them, but maybe you need to counter somebody else's smear campaign. If they're a narcissist, they may try to destroy your reputation. So you know, there are Scorpio people who feel like they're taking the high road by not saying anything, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to defend your good name. And I'm not saying by taking them down and smearing them, but by simply, you know, calmly stating, no, that's not true. This is actually what happened. And you can do that without tearing that other person apart. Of course, by countering it, you're exposing them as a liar, but that's on them. They brought that on themselves. And nobody should ever think that they can get one over on somebody and not expect that person to defend themselves. So you would have zero reason for feeling guilty. What is coming in is represented by the Four of Swords. This could be like actual physical recuperation that you need to do. So if you have been involved with somebody who has been extremely toxic to you, you may be booking some kind of retreat center, or maybe it's not even something that you're booking. You're just taking time for yourself, and maybe taking a break from work. If you're working, if you're not working, you may decide to not look for a job for a bit if you have the means to not have to do that, because you simply need to recharge your batteries. And in doing so, you're going to be good for others too. It's not a selfish thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. It could also be like a sign, like an air sign person who you're dealing with. I want to say too, which is kind of like, I don't know if other tarot readers do this. Maybe I'm inventing this, but I'm combining the numerology of the 4 with the swords. Maybe this is a person who is actually a Cancer, because Cancer rules the 4th house, and they have like Gemini, moon or rising or Venus or something along those lines that has that kind of it would probably be more like the moon or the rising sign, however, because that would affect more of the basic personality, and that may be somebody you're dealing with. The outcome is the Star card. So this is healing. These are both cards of healing, and possibly because of someone who is who has taken a lot from you, and you want to restore yourself. This is also about restoring hope in your life. You may have felt in the past that, especially if you're an older person looking for love, you may have felt like, oh, so my marriage is failing, and maybe this is not your first marriage, or this serious relationship is failing. Gosh, you know, this is the second or third major relationship of my life. Well, that's it. You know, that's all she wrote. And that is so not true. So not true. I was looking at, I think it was an obituary of a famous Hollywood star. I think it was a male. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? And they were showing, you know, on Wikipedia, they were showing all this person's marriages. And they were married like lots of times, maybe 5 times. But the last marriage, they lived with the person till they died. And, you know, that can happen. You might go through several very serious relationships and you meet the love of your life late in life. And it could be because of your own emotional growth that you're finally ready for it. So it's very possible that that could be what's going on. Okay, here's the Energy Oracle card. Oh, wow. Let's see. Some of these cards seem to correspond with the tarot, by the way, but there's not the same amount of cards. So it says the Angel of Balance, number 48, and I think of the Temperance card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot. Being centered and self-honoring in your choices. This loving presence holds a pitcher of liquid light in front of the pyramids, reminding you that a strong destiny relies on a solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, this card is telling you that a greater equilibrium is now coming to your life. Remain conscious about how you are balancing your goals and your physical and emotional energy at this time. Well, this, you know, the Four of Swords is physical and emotional restoration. Whenever you feel yourself getting off center or losing focus, call upon this beautiful angel and bring her intention into your heart center. Your intuition will lead you to the right direction, and the angel will guide you to a peaceful and centered approach. That's nice. Okay, I was already going to like, okay, see you later, and just like start scooping up the cards, but I guess it would be more polite to say goodbye to you first, wouldn't it? So I hope that you enjoyed this, Scorpio. And if you'd like a private reading, a private love reading, which, by the way, really uses your astrological chart, please click on the link below this video. I wish you an amazing August, an August full of love. And even if you're not in a relationship, loving yourself. Take care. Bye.